Good evening, everybody. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. We have been on a journey of recovery and healing and exposing, traumatic issues from our childhood that has brought about bad decisions and bad choices based off of that trauma from our past. So tonight, you guys, we are going to recover from that. And a lot of the times, I'm just going to insert this really quick. When you have traumatic issues, you guys, sometimes you will perceive a thing as rejection, and it's not rejection at all. But, when you have those traumatic issues and that abandonment root, you tend to think that certain things are a rejection that really truly isn't. So tonight, we're going to just go into a little bit. We're going to fast forward. I know last week we talked about withdrawal. And so let's fast forward a little bit so we can go ahead and close this thing out. I want to give at the end a self-love affirmation to those affirmations, to those that you can begin the journey. I listen at people, you guys, and sometimes I guess we as humans, we want a magic pill, and there is no magic pill. Wouldn't it be wonderful if there was a magic pill that can just get us through our recovery? We didn't have to feel any of the pain that, we went through or had, we just wish that there was an easier way to get through these hardships in our lives, you guys. But there is no way. And people that are recovering, listen at me really, really, really clear. When you are in a natural recovery, okay, you've came out of surgery, and you are now in a place that you're in a place now that the doctor is getting you prepared for rehabilitation so that you can go from the surgery room so that now you can go home. Okay, so as you are in this recovery, guys, the doctor will give you things that you and I have to do so that we can recover fully. And those things we have to do, or we will not. You have to practice those things. And if you do not practice those things, you won't see the recovery that you need. So in my courses, in my miniature teachings that I will be giving this year, I'm definitely going to be giving you exercises that you have to not have to do, but I would hope that you would do it so that you can recover and live a better quality of life, you guys. And I know that it's not going to be easy, because people tell me that all the time. They're like, but what you're saying is not easy. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. If it was easy, we all would recover from traumatic things. If it was easy, there wouldn't be a lot of people now that is stuck in certain places. And it's not that I lack empathy. I just know that there are things that you have to do, just like in the natural, to recover. There's things in your internal that you and I have to do in order to properly recover, you guys. And if you do not practice these tools that I give you, that I'm sharing with you, it's not going to benefit you. When you're in recovery, the doctor will sometimes send you home and tell you, hey, especially let's just look at things from a natural perspective right now. In the natural, say like you had a knee replacement, you guys, or you're sent home. You're sent home for a certain length of time, and then you have an appointment to go back, because then you're going to begin rehabilitation. And in rehabilitation, even though you've had that knee replacement, the therapist is going to move that knee, exercise that knee. They're going to do things to get you back in the swing of, being able to have the best quality of that knee. So they want you to exercise it. They want you to move it. They're going to do some things, and it's going to require, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. When you are using the tools that I'm giving you, you guys, it's not going to be easy to practice them. It's not going to be easy to do something that you've never done. But it is insanity to think that you don't have to do anything and still get a different result. No. You have to practice these things. You have to practice these tips. I can send you home with 100 valuable tips. And if you do not utilize them, you guys, it's not going to benefit you. It's not going to bring any change in you. And so I see so many people, they're okay until I say, practice this. But they said they wanted to recover. And I believe they do. They said they wanted to see themselves out of that pattern of, rejection and abandonment and the hold that it has over them. They said all of those things. And then when I begin to give them the tips to practice, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to do any work. I just want to keep talking about my pain. But I don't really want to I didn't think I had to do any work. Seeing a counselor is work. Seeing a therapist is work. But when you go to a therapist or you go to a counselor or a psychiatrist, especially psychotherapist, they send you home with chores. They give you assignments. You know why? Because they're developing new abilities in you. They're working, exercising your inner life so that you can work that step pain out of you. So say like now you're in the withdrawal and internal stage. The withdrawal, we're going to deal with all three of these and we're going to wrap that up. Withdrawal, eternal, and rage. Dealing with that, you guys, And remember we talked about the withdrawals is when you are used to running to that addiction. You're used to running to whatever you use to fill you up. You're used to those desires within you running you. You're used to that. But now you're reaching a stage of your life, you guys, that you want to recover from that. You don't want those addictions to run you anymore, you guys. You say you're reaching that place. So now you and I got to do something. Running to those addictions is easy to do. It's easy to say, I wish I didn't do it. I wish that I could just stop. We all wish that things were so much easier, right? But it's not. Doing these phases, getting the deliverance, overcoming things, you and I are going to have to put an end to running to it. And the only way that you're going to be able to put an end to it is you and I are going to have to, you guys, listen to me really clear. You're going to have to practice. You're going to have to be disciplined and practice. You're used to running to those people that don't mean you any good, those toxic people that don't mean good, and gossiping with them, telling them what's going on. You're used to running to Tom and Harry. You're used to running to whatever made you feel good on the inside. You're used to it. So when you're in your withdrawal stage, it is a vital stage because you have this opportunity to either recover or run back to the addiction. And a lot of the times you're running back because you need that codependency. People that wrestle with abandonment issues, they got to have some kind of codependent. Be it a substance or be it a person. Right. So we're used to fulfilling ourselves. When will that happen? And the only way that it's going to happen, because the thing about it, we don't want to feel the pain of discipline. We don't want to feel the pain of discipline, but we do want to celebrate the victory, the recovery, the healing of it. We do want to stand before people and preach and teach But we don't want to tell people we put ourselves on a 21-day disciplinary where we didn't run when we felt the withdrawals back to what was fulfilling us. We don't want to we don't want to tell we don't want to go through the process of surrender where we can, not just saying, you know what, oh yeah, I'm healed, oh yeah, I'm victorious, but you want to tell the people how you reached that place. What did you do? And I would love to say this is going to be easy. I would love to say that, but it's not going to be easy for you, and it has not been easy for me. When I tell people you got to practice not ruminating and replaying thoughts of your past in your mind, or what the person done to you in your past. When I tell people you have to practice, it's like she just said something illegal. They don't want to do the internal exercise. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to go through the detox. Neither do I. Neither do a lot of people that has done it. And as a result, they're experiencing a higher vibration, a higher level, a deliverance, a healing, a freedom. Neither did they. They didn't want to experience the pain of discipline, doing the internal work, not allowing your mind to ruminate on what that person done to you, or what those people done to you, or how they walked out and abandoned you. Your mind wants to ruminate on it. It wants to replay it. When you first start detoxing your mind from replaying thoughts, it is one of the hardest things to do. That's the internal work. Those are the exercises. Those are the practices. When a baby starts walking, a baby that has never walked before, they don't just get up and start walking, they crawl. But for it to do that, it takes movement. Look at the confirmation, darling. It's confirmation. There is a work that we have to do on the earth. The Bible says faith without works is dead. I can give you information until the Lord come back, and none of us we're not going to change from just the information alone. The information is vital, right? But we have to work along with our doctors. We have to work along with our therapists. I tell my client, I can give you this recipe and how you can have mental freedom. If you do not go home and commit to doing the actual work, you will not see the result that you want to see. There is no magic pill. Tell people in your withdrawal stages, there is some things that you got to do. You got to discipline yourself to not pick up that phone and call that toxic person that poisoned you. And it's going to be hard. You're going to have to practice not allowing your thoughts. People think they can't control their thoughts. And this is why it's important for as many as possible to join an awesome Bible study that is teaching spirit, soul, and body and breaking that word apart. Because the word tells us in 2 Corinthians 10:4-5, and then it goes down and tells us to cast down imaginations and thoughts and high things that exalts itself above the knowledge of God. There is a responsibility that you and I do have as the believer, as a person. You guys. You don't let nobody have control over you, be it your present or your past. And you have to make a decision. The recent thing that I went through, you guys know about, most of you guys know about, That thing was robbing me in my mind all day long. I was just replaying what they done to me, how they did me, how could they do that? And I was ruminating, I was incubating negative thoughts about it, vengeance and so forth. And I began to take those thoughts and take the things that I've taught people and utilize it to begin to do a work in my own. Because let me tell you something that is very important. If you do not do the mental work, your emotions will be imprisoned by what you think. I'm going to say that again. If you do not do the mental work, your emotions, and your emotions is how you feel, the mode that you set for that day, it will be imprisoned by what you allow in your mind. So yes, in this series, I'm going to definitely be giving people tips, and I have already given you tips, things that you and I have to do in order to get the result that you need. You cannot just sit there and think all day long about what your dad did to you years ago, what your mom to you years ago, and you think about it and think about it all the time. And you're asking God, set me free. And so God says, I'm going to send Juanita or whoever, blank, 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 in your life, and they're going to give you the tips. And you take those tips and you begin to practice them so that you can see freedom. Because when you internalize things that has happened to you, what you're doing is you're creating an infected wound. And no, it's not. And like I said, what did I say? It isn't easy at all. Getting free is not easy. Getting healed is not always easy. If that was the case, everybody would be free, delivered, set free, and operating from a high vibration. There's certain things that I'm not going to allow in my sphere and in my space in this season because I want my vibration operating from a high place. I want to be vibrating. And not just spiritually, but in my soul and in my physical. I want all three realms, spirit, soul, and body, to be operating from a higher level, a higher vibration. And you can't allow those toxic things, those people, those toxic thoughts to control your life.